I'm going to start with a list of, you could say, emotional states, or you could say different aspects of ourself. And these aspects of ourself are maybe ones that are a little more challenging to accept in ourselves. Maybe they're a little darker or they're a little less flattering, but they are human. And I know I've experienced every one of these. So I'm going to start with a list. I don't often read, but I'm going to read my list. So I don't often read on this video. I actually do read some in my life. So the first one would be like our insecure self, and that would be most of these would be different variations of insecurity, or different ways that we're wounded or that we might get activated or something. So insecure self, the neurotic self, wounded self, negative or kind of expecting the worst, cranky self, doubtful, self-doubt, being a doubtful self, the frightened self, the part of us that's frightened, the angry, sad, disheartened or dejected, jealous, spiteful, inhibited, not wanting, afraid to take action. Most of these are variations of fear as well. Oppressed self, betrayed self, the vengeful self, the bored self, impatient, the depressed self, rejected, envious, hypervigilant or wary, self-conscious, thinking, being very self-conscious of ourselves, exhausted, judgmental, pitiful, having self-pity, arrogant, condescending, annoyed, dramatic, and grief-stricken. So that's enough. Then there are more, but I guess, I know I've experienced every one of those. And if you're like me, maybe you've experienced, at least you can probably relate to some of them more than others. So this video is about what to do when we become aware that we're in one of these states. This video is almost like a part 2 of last week's, where I was saying that awareness gives you choice, was the name of last week's video. So this is when we become aware of something, and we become aware of that we're in one of these states. So Mike's there, myself, I'm there, and I'm becoming aware that I'm cranky, or I'm impatient. Maybe, I think one of them was impatient, I don't know. So I'm getting a little cranky, and I'm now seeing, I'm a little tired, I'm cranky, I'm getting impatient, I'm getting annoyed. Of course, some of these come in groupings, right? And I can see myself doing it. So it's really interesting. So if the first magic that happens is just, this is another way that awareness gives us freedom. In another way, last week, if I'm becoming aware that I'm cranky, so then there's a different part of me, and who knows what that is. Maybe that's true self, maybe that's my conscious self, or whatever you want. But if I'm becoming aware that I'm cranky, okay, I'm no longer trapped in the crankiness. Like before I was aware of it, like the crankiness kind of possessed me. It was controlling me. I was like acting out of crankiness. I just want, this is my job, this is crap, I want to go, I hate this job, whatever, I'm cranky. It's like, why do we have to do this over and over again? I'm being, so the crankiness is, I'm acting out of crankiness. It's possessed me in a way. It's taken over who I am, okay? So, but when I realize, I become aware that I'm cranky. This happens when we meditate too. When I become aware of a thought when I'm meditating, same thing. When I become aware that I'm being cranky, now part of me is seeing my crankiness. So see, I'm not in my crankiness as much now. And I now have a choice, because awareness gives me choice. I now have a choice. I can continue to be cranky, or I can be a different thing. I can be something else. So that's the first step, okay, is becoming aware. And sometimes it's humbling, sometimes it's not fun. We don't like what we see. It's like, oh my God, I'm being so cranky. Or I'm being angry, I'm being uncool, I'm being, when we see this kind of what we would call a darker aspect of ourself, or a less flattering aspect. And really what it is, it's an aspect of ourself that's more difficult to accept in ourselves. We may be mortified, but by seeing that, and it gives us the freedom to shift out of it. Until we see it, we're trapped by it. Okay, so we'll keep moving here. So the first step is seeing it. The next step is going to be to kind of own it and saying, yes, I've been a bit cranky. Okay, and our ego doesn't always like this step. It's just admitting, yep, I've been a little cranky. And maybe, and worse, maybe that crankiness has affected my coworkers. That's even a little scarier. But let's just look at it. Maybe we do some damage control here. It's like, I guess, and I might have to go apologize. I'm sorry. I guess I'm cranky today. I'm sorry that I kind of was short with you. We may have to do. So the first step is becoming aware of it. Second step is owning it. Okay. And the third step then is accepting it. I'm owning it. It's like, yes, I am cranky. I've been cranky. And now I'm accepting it or embracing it and just saying, yep, I'm cranky. And it's okay that I'm cranky because I'm human and I'm also tired. I've been pushing it. Apparently, I've become cranky. And that doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It doesn't mean that, that I'm terrible. It just means that I'm cranky. And so we embrace it and we accept that and we declare it. It's okay to be cranky. However, even though it's okay to be cranky, it's maybe not a state that I want to hang out in. Maybe I can find a way to shift out of my crankiness, but I'm not going to beat myself up because I was cranky. That's accepting it, is letting go of beating myself up over it, even though it wasn't my best self. Okay? So then the next step is to kind of have compassion for it. And this is where kind of the inner child format works the best. Like this wounded child, it's like talking to that part of you. Like I'd be talking to my cranky self. It's like, I know this job, it is really annoying, and I know. It's like we said we'd be doing something else, and yet here we are. We're still here. And that really sucks. We're kind of joining with it. We're having compassion with it. We're understanding why we're cranky. And we're talking to our cranky self in a way. It's like, I know, it really sucks. This is such a frustrating day. I get it, And so that way we're kind of joining with it. This is wonderful because that egoic state or that wounded self or whatever you want to call it, we're not chastising it. We're not like saying, oh, we're not like disciplining it harshly and just saying, oh, what the hell, your cranky self, that's bad, it's bad. See, it's from not accepting it. If we don't do the third step and accept it, then we can't have compassion for it, and we can't just say, okay, I get it. I can see why you're cranky. Then once you do that, it doesn't run away from us. It like accepts us. And it's like parenting a child. It's like, I get why you're so bored. But that gives us the compassion. It kind of gives us the opportunity to have that final step. And that's to kind of guide that part of us, is to take lead, take control, and say, okay, here's the thing. I know you're cranky. However, we can't be being cranky with our coworkers. That's not cool. We don't do that. And we're going to be home in like an hour. I promise. We'll just do nothing. We'll just whatever, put sweatpants on and we'll binge a TV show, or we'll do whatever you want when we get home. But right now we got to finish this, and we got to do it in a way that we're being nice to other people. Okay, so it's almost like it's like, doesn't it sound like we're parenting a child? And we are parenting that child within, like we're parenting our cranky self. If you don't like parenting, we're guiding. Okay, but we first of all acknowledged it and had compassion for it. Now we're saying, okay, I get it, but here's the thing. Okay, we got to find a different way of being here, because it's not cool to be cranky to people. So we're instructing it, we're giving it lesson, and that part of us will hear us if we had compassion for it. If we saw its view and acknowledged it, then that part of us will listen to the guidance of the parenting. Okay, if we skip any of those other steps, and sometimes they're joined together, but if we, then that part of us is going to be just like, it's going to run away, and it's just, we're going to, it's going to be out of there. And it's going to be way more difficult to shift our crankiness. We're going to go back to being trapped or possessed by that crankiness, or that whatever those lists of things that I read, any of those, we're going to be possessed by that again. So that's another way that awareness gives us choice, and it gives us freedom. It's a way that we can shift ourselves away from these wounded states, these, frightened states, these reactive states, these kind of, these activated states. It gives us a way to kind of do an intervention. And we're doing an intervention on ourself to bring us back, to be back in our center again, where we can have choice and be ourselves, and then be open and have our heart be open again. So that is my video for this week. Thank you so much for watching. And so all of this is about self-compassion, right? It's a way to have compassion for yourself, and none of it happens without accepting that we're human. It's really ironic that the key to shifting away from that is accepting that it's there. It's the first step. We have to accept it and embrace it and have compassion for it. Then we can say, you know what, let's try something else. So anyway, I hope you enjoy your week, and I will see you in a week.